You have a brilliant product idea, but its success hinges on one choice: your manufacturing partner. But be warned. The perfect sample they send could be a deliberate trap to get your deposit and switch to cheaper materials. This is one of many traps, born from the mistake of choosing a partner based on the lowest price alone. This single focus leads to disaster, lost money, ruined products, and shattered dreams for founders. This guide gives you the complete playbook, from strategy and vetting to spotting red flags and building a protected partnership. First, decide what kind of partner. OEM means they build your design. ODM means you customize their product. It's faster, but not yours. Once you know that, avoid giant factories. Their minimum order quantities will be too high, and your startup will be their lowest priority. Next, a fundamental trade-off: domestic or overseas. Overseas often has lower costs, but domestic gives you more control and stronger IP security. With your strategy set, you can build a list of potential partners. The moment you make contact, the vetting process begins. Pay close attention to their first emails. Is communication vague, inconsistent, or slow? This is a massive red flag. Why does this matter so much? Manufacturing is complex problem solving. If they can't message clearly, they can't manage a production crisis. The next test is transparency. If they resist a factory visit, they might be a middleman. So how can you verify their claims from afar? Working with a hidden middleman adds cost and removes your control. When problems happen, you're one step removed from fixing them. Now, the obvious scams. First, pricing that's too good to be true. If one quote is 50% lower than the rest, it's not a good deal, it's bait. Second, payment demands. Standard is 30-50% deposit, with the balance upon shipment. A demand for 100% upfront is a huge warning sign. To verify claims remotely, ask for their certification numbers. Don't just trust a PDF. Go to the official database and confirm it's real and current. Even with a legitimate partner, forgetting about local holidays like Chinese New Year can shut down your production for a full month. Plan for it. Here's a subtle danger: regional quality bias. Some factories will lower standards for products heading to markets they see as less demanding. You must explicitly state in your contract that your product must meet high international standards, like EU or US, regardless of its final destination. Another complication is the myth of a hands-off partner. This is a fantasy. Successful production requires your active project management. Let's revisit that low-price mistake. The hidden costs aren't small. We're talking about an entire production run being rejected. This is the true cost of that golden sample trap. You don't just lose your deposit, you risk your entire business on poor quality. So how do you get a fair price without falling for these traps? You create competition. Always get detailed quotes from at least 3 to 5 vetted suppliers. Use these quotes to negotiate, but don't just grind them down. The goal is a long-term relationship, not a one-time transaction. Your ultimate defense is a system. Vetting communication, verifying claims, and negotiating for partnership creates a shield. This system protects you from the low-price illusion and the golden sample trap by shifting your focus from pure cost to long-term value. And to specifically defeat the golden sample trap, demand this in your contract: a production sample pulled randomly from the first real run. The right manufacturing partner is not a vendor. They are an extension of your team. Their success should be tied to your success. First, define your strategy: OEM versus ODM, domestic versus overseas. Second, search and perform initial vetting, watching for communication red flags. Third, conduct deep due diligence. Verify every claim and check certifications. Finally, negotiate for a long-term partnership, not just a low price. The main lesson is this: a cheap manufacturer is almost always more expensive in the long run. Hidden costs will outweigh any upfront savings. Use this playbook to protect your idea, your investment, and your business. Don't become another horror story. By following this process, you are not just buying a service, you are building a foundation for your product's success. The road from idea to finished product is difficult, but with the right partner, it is absolutely achievable. Investing time in proper vetting now is the highest return activity you can perform at this stage of your business. The right manufacturing partner doesn't just build a product, it builds the foundation for a scalable, sustainable business. Due diligence at this stage is not optional. It is the single most important investment made before production begins.